Any other former coaches and players you need to have come out at this time so we can start right at 7 o'clock. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're kind of working with a tight timetable here, so I'll try to keep it moving as fast as we can because we have a great football game to play here at 7:30. Tonight we mark the 25th year of football in LHS. It seems only yesterday when the boosters met with James Abercrombie, the LHS principal at that time, and discussed the possibility of starting a football program in Linesville. Now, it had been brought up many times over the years, and to be very frank, he kind of discouraged us for a number of years, even though he loved the sport of football a great deal. But it was only through the great persistency from men like Walt Kennedy and Dave Hyman, Don Eaton, Walt Reese, and Hugh Smith, who had grown up in other communities where football was a way of life. In the end, Mr. Abercrombie said that if we raised our own money, then we might be able to get it through the board. The boosters built a football field, and Herb Giles was very instrumental in that. They built a press box, they purchased a scoreboard, and finally they erected the lights that we enjoy here tonight. Without them, most of this would not have been possible. 2 years prior to 1974, it was decided to begin with the 7th and 8th grade football program. The following year, it was expanded to 7th, 8th, and 9th. Coaching for those 2 years was Bob Kreider and Red Gillette. I believe Tim Sisley was also there. These individuals formed the nucleus to be assistant to Dan McCullough, who was hired as the first head coach after serving as an assistant coach at Geneva College. Bob Kreider was actually the longest assistant coach, serving 9 years until Herb Bozzard began his 10th year this season. During the 25 years, 34 assistant coaches have served as they are listed on your program. There's a number of things that are on those programs that you might want to keep. We will be using that program over and over this year, so if you did not get one tonight, I encourage you to get one, or if you next meeting, pick up one. Talks about some of the memorabilia that took place over the years during those 25. Gives me great pleasure to introduce some of these coaches that are here with us tonight. If you just hold up your hand, at least you can recognize some of them because some of them have changed over the years a little bit. Brian Bear, Herb Bozzard, Bob Kreider, who is now our assistant superintendent, was, as I mentioned, those first 9 years with us. Todd DeRoss, who is still a current member of our coaching staff. Randy Beamer, principal at Pine Lake High School. Red Gillette, one of the original coaches along with Bob Kreider. Pat Gould. We have Kevin Oates, which is actually on the road tonight scouting. J.J. Potts, our newest member of the coaching staff. Tim Sisley, who was back in our first championship years, along with Ken Slosky. That's all members that came tonight, part of that large who's who of coaches that you'll notice on the back of your program. We would also like to recognize former players as well. Over here on your left, in the 1974, 75, and 76 would have been the very first team. They would have been sophomores, juniors, and seniors that year. We have Glenn Wheeler, who is now one of the Little Dritters coaches of the Copperheads. Jeff Littwater, who scored the first touchdown for Linesville football history. And actually, Jeff claims, I guess, that Mike Dongay scored the first one, but there was a penalty, and it was disqualified and brought back. And so Jeff received the honor of having the first touchdown. I guess with an asterisk, maybe. In 1975 team, we have Tim Gregg and John Urbanis. In 1976, we have Craig Reynolds, who is also one of the Little Dritters coaches dealing with the Panthers, and the quarterback at that time, Jim Bortle. 1977, we have with us Mark Wheeler, Mark Higgins, and Jack Siminger. 1978, which was our first championship season. Within the first 5 years of the beginning of football in Linesville, we did have our first championship, and James Delpaz is here tonight, and he was a great running back at that time. In 1980, we have Gary Thayer, who has been on the team through, I think, ever since he graduated, along with Tom Stewart. He never could get very far away, you know. In 1982, we have Brian Baer and Randy Zarsky. 1985, we have Doug Pfizer, Mark Novak, Gary Buzzard. Somewhere here, Mike Gillette fits, but I don't have the year. 1990, Dean Pepper. 1991, Cliff Seibel. 1993, which is another championship year, a great teams we had in 92 and 93. Ken York, Lenny McCullough, and J.J. Potts, who's on our coaching staff. And of course, Lenny McCullough, one of the great quarterbacks we had, and also Coach McCullough's son. 1995, we have Kyle Hood. 1997, we have Josh Mulkey. And of course, the Hurricane, who's now playing for field, John Herrickle. I just want to make sure that these people all understand that we are going to have a reception over in that far tent of the field. Immediately following the game for all the former players and coaches and their families and so forth. We have some cake and pop, and you can kind of share some time with Coach McCullough. At this time, we're going to have representatives from the Pennsylvania 5th Legislative District, Tracy Seifert, come and make his presentation.
From the House and the Senate, but we also have something very special, and that is a letter of congratulations from our Governor, Tom Ridge. And I'd like to take a moment to read this to Coach McCullough. It gives me great pleasure to join with family, friends, and colleagues in offering my sincere congratulations as you are honored today. Our children are the Commonwealth's most precious resource, and their education our most precious and important goal. Through your 25 years as head coach of the Linesville High School football team, you have provided a forum which, through our young people, learn discipline, hard work, sportsmanship, and mutual respect. As Governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I would like to take this opportunity to personally thank and commend you for your many years of faithful and honorable service for the benchmark of excellence that you have established for all our citizens to emulate. On behalf of all Pennsylvanians, I extend warmest congratulations as you are honored here today. May you continue to find many challenges and much success in the years ahead. Tom Ridge, Governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
I look back and I say in front of me that these young men behind me, of course, the ones that are here today, there truly is a legacy. And as we all know, our country will be better than tomorrow. And I'll read the citation from the Senate, and the House is very similar. Whereas Dan McCullough of Linesville is celebrating his 25th year as head coach of the Linesville High School football team in the Primary School District. And whereas Mr. McCullough began his coaching career as head coach of the Lions in 1974. To his great credit, he has led his team to 5 Prince Creek Valley Athletic Conference titles and 2 undefeated seasons in 1991 and 92. The team also has had the rare distinction of winning 20 consecutive games from 1991 to 1994. And whereas during his noteworthy tenure, Mr. McCullough has garnered a record of 102 wins, 91 losses, and 13 ties. His efforts reflect the dedication to hard work, perseverance, and the highest standard of personal and professional excellence. As a coach, as a champion of achievement, and as an exemplary role model, he has served his team, the community, and his state with pride and distinction, and has given his players, the foundation and guidance which has made them champions. Now therefore the Senate and the House of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania applaud Dan McCullough for his enduring commitment and in recognition of his coaching triumphs over the past 25 years, offers best wishes that he will continue to find great happiness and success in the years to come.
This time I have a couple of letters I'd like to read. Dear Dan, on behalf of the County School District and its administration and myself, we would like to congratulate you on your 25 years of service as head football coach at Linesville High School. Your dedication to community, school, and students has been exemplary, and we take our hats off to you. Best wishes for continued success and all that you do in the coming years. Sincerely yours, Dick Astor, Superintendent of Schools. And Dick could not be here tonight. This boy plays for Lineville High School, and he's in here tonight watching his son play. And of course, this is next to me for Mr. Bob Pryor, our assistant superintendent, is here with us. Also, I have another letter from, says, Dear Dan, it is easy to say congratulations for 25 tremendous years of coaching and the positive impact you have had on so many young people. After all, football has been your life, and coaching just comes natural to you. The hard thing for me to do is describe the enormous impact you've had on my life from the time I met you through to this very day. It's very difficult for me to describe how much I've admired your drive and determination to be the best at everything you do. The best way for me to point this out is to tell you that I have tried to emulate you as a teacher and as a coach. I try to take a little bit of Dan McCullough into every day and drive myself to the best. There are no words that can describe what Dan McCullough means to my John guy. The positive impact you've had on my life is beyond comprehension. There are very few real leaders in this world, but Dan, you truly are. For a leader has been defined as one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Dan, you have shown me so much, I would simply like to express my gratitude to you for just being you. Alonzo Staggs stated that, I hold with certainty that no painter, nor sculptor, nor any other artist does such excellent work as he who molds the minds and characters of youth. Dan, you've helped mold my mind and characters. I can only say thank you by telling you that in my mind, you will always be thought of as coach. There's only one other title a man can have that has more reverence than coach, and that is Dad. Coach McCullough, since my dad was killed, you've been like a father to me, and to that I must simply say thank you. Sincerely, Mike Don Guy, head coach, Middletown Area High School Blue Raiders, Squad A football team. I have one last one that I can only take a couple paragraphs out of because of the time constraint, but I'll try to pick up a couple different places, and I think Dan will really appreciate it. It's a very, very personal letter, and and as I mentioned, I will be part of it. To the fans, friends, and family of Dan McCullough, when I found out that the Boosters Club was honoring Dan McCullough for 25 years of service to the school, community, and students as a football coach, my first thought was simple: I have to be there. But as you all know, football season here at Penn State University doesn't leave much time for anything else, and work will keep me and my wife Beth here in Happy Valley for the Pitt Penn State weekend. But trust me when I say I'm there in spirit. I consider myself the luckiest person in the world for having had the chance to be coached by and coached with Dan McCullough. It was a simple twist of fate that made our paths cross at such a crucial point in my life. But it was his heart and his nature that made the crossing important. Every person is given a chance to have an effect on those around him, but precious few choose to do so. Dan McCullough took the time to help me and to teach me, and for that I love him, just like family, which is what he's always been to me. Sincerely, Patrick John Guy, the sports director at Penn State University. At this time, I'd like to bring up Jen Agnew, who is president of our student council, for a special presentation. Jen?
Coach McCullough with his football. It's a token of our appreciation for your hard work, dedication, and the time you have put in to build a football program here at Linesville High School. Thank you.
At this time, we would certainly like to recognize Sandy, who has been the loving wife of the 25-year-old coach. I'm sure there isn't enough things in the world that we could give to her. If you really think back 25 years, his children were not even born yet, which now we're so pleased I need to introduce to them. We have right beside Sandy, Dan's wife, is Michelle, who is now our cheerleading advisor. Her husband, Pat, which is one of the football coaches, and his son, Lane McCullough, who is a senior in college. So we're very pleased that they're here tonight. And at this time, we'd like to make sure that Sandy has something at least to hold in her hands beside all of Dan's paraphernalia. So if my wife, Sandy, would bring that up to her. Over here. On behalf of Lineville High School and the athletic department, this is certainly a very significant milestone, a quarter century of football, but even more important, a quarter century of a coach that has been football from beginning to end, and at least have something for you to put on your wall. It says Lineville High School anniversary season, 25 years, Coach Dan McCullough, 1974 to 1998, FCDAC Championship, 1978, 1981, 1982, 1992, and 1993. With our best wishes, Dan, we'd like to congratulate you. Dan, if you come back, we know at some point in time you have to eat, so we'll also have, on behalf of the athletic department, we'd like you to enjoy some free time together, and it may have to be after football season's over, but we'd like you to have a real nice dinner on that. So we really appreciate that. At this time, Dan, if you want to say a couple words, you can do it.
Well, usually I save it for the locker room, you know, right now. These guys are kind of quiet and haven't heard me talk so mellow in a long time. all I can say is, you know, all this just for doing what I love, you know. It's just working with young people like them and making them into people like them. Yeah. And it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it a lot. And this has been my motto since the beginning, and the people that have played for more, I think you all understand that, don't you, gentlemen? And it works. It works. We're the smallest group, but we stick together. Okay, we're the smallest one. And at points, I've always felt the three things in my life: God, family, and football. And it's interesting how that family, you know, my wife has always been part of the football. My daughter is now the football cheerleader coach. My son-in-law is assistant football coach for me, and my son, of course, plays football for me. So that's quite nice for me, blessing in my mind. But I also have a much larger family. You can see part of them here. It's really been great. I just don't know what else to tell you. I really appreciate the parents for letting your sons play for me. And I hope I've always treated them fairly. And it's just been wonderful for me to be here this whole 25 years. I really appreciate it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure my family feels that way. And I appreciate the family behind me. And I guess for the Honda School District, my assistant has been kind of a proving ground for the administrators in the district. Thanks.
Don't forget we have a reception really following for all those former coaches, former players, and our current players as well. And we can't cross the way after the game. Have a great football game. Thank you for your attention. Thanks, fellas.